Hello, 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 and welcome. Today is Wednesday, August 17th, and we are here to discuss episode 7 of the Challenge USA. So let's get into it. All right, everybody, welcome. This is Jury Duty, your favorite Big Brother podcast, but we do talk about other things. And tonight we are talking about the Challenge USA. I am joined by just a wonderful, wonderful human being, Gino Morgino. Sadly, we are without Kyle Petty tonight. He had some other things to take care of. So we will miss him, but we will soldier on. If you want to find us on the socials, you can do so at BB Jury Duty. That's on Twitter and on Instagram. If you want to find us over on our website, thank you, Kyle. That's www.bbjuryduty.com. All right. I guess that's out of the way, right? We got everything out of the way? You want to get into the episode? I think we did everything. As usual, we started this episode, as TJ likes to call it. And we've got some interesting pairs. I felt like last week was kind of boring. But not that the episode was boring, but I didn't find the pairs like that thrilling, really, until we got like further into the episode anyway. But right off the bat, this one, Tyson and Sarah, obviously, being paired up.
Chaos.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of makes me feel more like what Kyle says all the time. It has to be the case. Because, like, I mean, I guess at the same time, the pairs that you can possibly have in there are getting, it's more likely that you're going to be paired up with somebody if you haven't been with them yet because the numbers are dwindling. But it was just funny to see this beef that Tyson and Sarah were having last week when Tyson won and threw Sarah into elimination. And now here we go. This week they're partnering up. So we knew that was going to bring some excitement. Another pairing that I just found funny was Enzo and Angela.
I lost my mind when I saw that they got paired up together. What a completely opposite pairing of people.
Right. Like, and it's funny because they're both Big Brother people, so they have that connection. But it's just like when they got paired up, I was like, I never even imagined that they would work together.
It's so funny because like we've seen Angela a million times be such a sick competitor, and Enzo is Enzo. So it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah, no, definitely. But right after the pairs were decided, we kind of met up with everybody else back at the house. And then they kind of went off into their groups. And right away, we saw Tyson, Angela, and Kylan talking. And this was something that I kept seeing in, like, the commercials leading up to this episode and, like, some of the stuff that we were seeing in social media. They kept showing this group of three. So we knew that they were going to be heavily involved in this episode. And Dominic made it clear that he wanted to break this trio up. They've been dominating. They've been winning all the money. So, I had a feeling that there was going to be something to do with Dominic and these three right from the beginning.
Right.
But so getting back to Tyson and Sarah, though, for a minute, what did you think of? Because Sarah, the whole time, obviously they're paired up together. So if one of them goes to elimination, they both have to go to elimination. But what did you think of like Sarah's little plan of like, oh, well, if I go into elimination, I've got Tyson as this strong competitor. So, like, I'm probably going to be good even if I go into elimination, and then I can win some money. But it also kind of makes him a little panicked because now he has to go into an elimination. What did you think about her just being so free to say, like, yeah, I'll go into elimination?
I mean, it's very confusing to me. Like, yeah, great. He's a strong competitor. You're putting yourself in a position to leave the game. Like, this isn't like, in Big Brother where you go up as a pawn and it's like, it's just a matter of votes. Like, if this is not a game that he is well suited for, you just screwed yourself over. And I get that it's important. Like, I get that it's important to like bank up your money or whatever so you can get into the final. But it just feels so risky to volunteer to go in. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I never understand why anybody is like if the writing's on the wall and you're going in, it's like, okay, I have to do this. I have to see the positive of it. Maybe I can get somebody's money and earn my way into the final. But it's like for you to actually want to go in, I just don't understand it.
Like, for nothing more than to spite the partner that you have to work with in the elimination to come back.
Right. Like, you never know, with the challenge, you never know what kind of competition is going to be that you have to do. Is it going to be physical? Is it going to be endurance? Is it going to be a puzzle or a trivia thing? I just feel like I would not want to.
If they have this beef together, like, yeah, of course, neither of them are going to want to like throw the competition and leave the game. They're both still competitors, but they're probably not going to work well together. So I can't imagine that it would be a good pairing to go into elimination with.
Right. I totally agree. But so.
Oh, your sound cut out. Oh no.
Oh,
no, you're back. Never mind.
I'm back.
Yeah, it like cut out for a second.
But another thing that I thought was funny was another week where Leo gets partnered up with someone who is not happy to be with him.
Mm-hmm.
So that was Leo and Alyssa. And it felt like Leo had a rough episode, I got to say, on a number of fronts.
I got to be honest, Alyssa was really pissing me off this episode. I was not team Alyssa this week.
Yeah. I'm glad you said that, actually, because I had that feeling multiple times throughout the episode. But the way she was talking to Sophia, that she was like, I already have my money. I just need to survive. Hopefully I can just get through this week of being with Leo. And of course we had multiple references to cats again with Leo.
What is that? What is that?
I don't know. If somebody out there that's watching or listening knows why Leo is so obsessed with cats, or if
I'm
is
so
some kind
confused.
Of running joke, yeah, let us know. Because, but yeah, and then Leo, he really got like chewed out by his girlfriend in this. I think her name was Aaliyah or something. She was basically kind of telling him that these businesses that he apparently has at home were not doing well. His employees weren't getting paid or whatever. They were having some kind of financial issues, and he pretty much packed his bags. He was ready to go. Did you think he was going to leave?
I mean, I kind of did. See, this was strike one for Alyssa for me, because like he came to her being like, hey, my businesses aren't doing well. I'm dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, I think I have to go. And she was like, but what about me? I was like, girl, What about you? Like, what are you talking about? This isn't about you right now.
Right. And we've seen things in the challenge before when somebody's paired up with someone and maybe like their partner gets injured or something, and they have to get home, or even maybe their partner gets into a fight with someone. Right. We saw that with Fessy and Josh. Right. But this, like, when he said to everybody, they were all trying to talk to him and like make sure, like, do you really want to leave? Is this really what you want to do? And he was like, I lost $43,000 last weekend. I was like, all right, man, you should go home. You should probably go home.
And like, it's not like he just felt like going home. He's dealing with something major. Yeah.
No, that was wild. But this led us all into our challenge for the day, our daily challenge, which was recreational driving. Basically like bumper cars. This was pretty fun to watch. What did you think of this comp?
It really stressed me out. I did not have fun watching this competition. I was just like panicking the entire time.
Yeah. You don't think you could have done this one?
I don't know, man.
What do you think would have been more scary for you, being blindfolded and driving, or trying to be the one that's directing while you don't even have control over the steering wheel or the gas?
See, it's just, I know who I am as a person. So I know that like if I was the person in charge of directing somebody, I would just be like, ah! And not actually say anything. I would just be panicking and not helping at all.
Yeah.
Like, I think I would have to be the one blindfolded, because I would be of no help trying to direct somebody while I'm stressing out watching what they're not seeing.
Yeah. I think I'd prefer to be the driver in this situation, because I get nervous enough when people are bad drivers and I'm in the front seat, and the people that are driving aren't blindfolded. So.
Right. I get nervous enough driving on a regular street with no bumper cars and no balloons and no like things to run into. I can't.
Well, because they were also like, they were driving hard into these like walls of dirt and these big barrels that were in there, and I just feel like I would rather not know that that's coming than being the one that's watching the car just speed towards this wall.
Isn't that one? I don't remember who it was, but that one pairing that just ended up on top of the barrel. I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I forget who that was too, but that was wild. But so basically the whole point of this, it was bumper cars, but each car had 4 balloons attached to it. And basically it was the last car that was still running, that didn't have all their balloons popped. They were the winners. But you could be out even if all 4 of your balloons hadn't gotten popped. You could be out if you wrecked your car, which we saw quite a bit of.
Yeah.
So I thought this was a pretty fun one. But at the end of
it was a good competition. It was not fun to watch. I was very stressed out.
This was a good one. Actually, TJ was laughing a lot in this one too, and I wonder if Kyle would have said that he thought the laughing was fake.
I don't know. TJ was having the time of his life in this competition.
And sure enough, by the end of the competition, Kayla and Dominic were the only ones still driving. They did great in this. They did really well. They worked really well together.
I know I've asked this before, but I forgot the answer. Is this the first time that either Angela or Tyson has not won a competition? Or was there one more?
There might have been like one other time. I feel like there was a time.
Oh no, there was an Angela and Kyland one. I mean, not Angela and Kyland, Alyssa and Kyland.
Yeah, there was Alyssa and Kyland, and then there was also last week David and Desi one.
Got it.
But out of 7 weeks, at least one of Angela or Tyson or both of them has won the daily challenge, which is still insane.
And it is very, and I'm sure we'll get into this, it is very confusing to me that like, because the two of them have won so many, the few times that they haven't, why is nobody throwing them into elimination?
I know.
You have to get them out.
Do you think that if Tyson hadn't been with Sarah, that Tyson potentially would have gone in this week?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like his sights were more set on Angela than they were on Tyson, but...
Right. It's true. That's true. And then, of course, neither Angela or Tyson went in. So, but the last place...
Like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either. But last place, straight to elimination from recreational driving, was Leo and Alyssa. They started off okay. They started off all right, but they did pretty bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back at the house, Alyssa.
Your sound.
Oh no.
No, it's back. It cuts out for like a second and then it comes back.
The weather's not great right now, so maybe that's part of the reason why. But so as we get back to the house after the competition, though, Alyssa's still talking crap about Leo and how she now has to go to elimination with him and all this stuff. And I just kept thinking to myself, I was like, didn't Leo just win an elimination? And was like the integral part of winning that elimination too. So I didn't understand.
Like from the jump of this episode, Alyssa was shitting all over him. Like I remember the moment that they got paired together, she was like, "Wow, I'm so excited to work with Leo." Was that fake? Did it come across real? Like, did it look good? Like from the jump, I was like, "What is your issue?"
Yeah, she's just like the whole season. I haven't really loved her attitude, I guess. I don't even know how to
she's
put
been
it.
irking me a bit, but this episode was, I don't know if it was just the last straw for me or if it was like particularly bad this episode, but I don't know.
I just feel like, and maybe it's different now because we're seeing other BB23 people leave, people from the cookout, especially Xavier, who she felt was like her number one in BB23, who now is gone. But it just has felt to me this whole season like she's had this weird attitude that like she's not even really there to win that much. Like it felt like, especially in the beginning of the season, it was like, how can I get Xavier out? How can I get these BB23 people out?
Like it's felt like I'm not here to win the challenge. I'm here to make sure they don't win the challenge.
Right. That's what it has felt like. And I don't know. Because I liked Alyssa on BB23.
Yeah.
Right? But I don't know. But so, we had obviously the last place team, Leo and Alyssa, meet with Dominic and Kayla to kind of just get their temperature, see if they have any thoughts on who they want to go against in elimination, who they definitely don't want to go against. And they don't really give any names, which honestly has become like the trend. It seems like people are afraid to throw anyone's name out. Where I feel like earlier on that wasn't the case, and in other seasons of the challenge, I feel like we don't see that. People will just come out and say, "I don't want to go against this person," or "I do want to go."
It's so funny because I remember seeing Azah do that, and she was like, "Well, I'm not going to name any names because I'm not going to name any Big Brother people, and the only people that I can name are your people, so I'm just not going to say anything." And at the time, I remember all of us being like, "That's so stupid. Just name someone. Literally name anybody. So like you, whatever." And now I feel like since then, that's all we've seen is everybody being like, "Nope, not going to say anything."
Right. Do you think that's because this game is so dominated by players like, that have come from games like Big Brother and Survivor, and they try to be way more strategic and not show their cards. Whereas I feel like on the challenge, it's not so much. Yeah.
I feel like it's also a piece, and Big Brother has not been abiding by this rule, but I feel like it's also a piece of like, I'm not going to target my people. So if you are the winner, like if you're the winners and you're the people like throwing somebody into elimination and you're not my people, I'm not going to name your people. That's just going to like drive a harder wedge in between us. Like that was the whole Ozza thing, was I'm not naming any Big Brother. So if I name anybody, it's going to be Survivor and Love Island, which is both of you. So I'm not going to say that.
Right.
So I think it's like a piece of like not wanting to piss off the alliance of the people in power as well.
Yeah, it's definitely true. But we saw right away, Dominic, once Leo and Alyssa had left, Dominic and Kayla were still talking about who they were thinking about putting in. And Angela and Enzo were obviously possibilities that Dominic threw out, because Angela and Kyland, I think back in week 3, threw Dominic into elimination. Mm-hmm. So that was, aside from Angela, really being a power player in this game, she's thrown Dominic in. So obviously that's a target for him. And they also mentioned Kyland and Kira.
Right.
I didn't hear them mention Tyson and Sarah in this moment.
No, I didn't either.
Yeah, but it seemed like Kyland and Angela were kind of on the chopping block. But Kayla said she was ready to make a big move. So this was like one of the first times that we actually got to see Angela talking game. And I think this might have been what saved her, because Angela spoke to Kayla, and Kayla even made a comment like, Angela's here. She's trying to throw me a deal, and it seems like it might be a pretty good deal.
It really was.
Yeah. And I wonder if that really took the heat off of Angela for this.
I feel like it had to, because logically, again, she's a really, really strong competitor. So you have to get her out sooner rather than later. And she was paired with Enzo. This would have been the perfect opportunity to throw her in. They're probably not going to work well in elimination together. She can't do that all on her own. She needs to be able to have a strong teammate to bring her back in with. And I'm sorry, Enzo's not that person. They're not going to mesh well together. That was your opportunity to get her out.
Yeah.
Especially seeing what the competition was, it would have been easy peasy, I think.
I think so too. Let's just get into it. I mean, so for the elimination, it ended up being Kira and Kyland chosen. Mm-hmm. Who, I forget how much money. I know Kyland had enough. Did they both have enough to? Because that was a big thing too. People are now starting to look at who has big money totals. Mm-hmm. Because if I can't win a daily challenge, but I'm in elimination, I have to earn money somehow.
Right.
And it's not like week 1 where everybody's just going into elimination. They only have $1,000. Now it's like I might have enough money to get to the final just off of this elimination if I win.
Right.
But I know they had, I think it was like 13 grand that they had combined. So they had a lot of money going into this. And the elimination itself was called Ball and Chain. I thought this was a pretty cool elimination. Did you like this one?
I did. I really did.
Yeah, I thought it had some good physical elements, but it also had the trivia, which is a good equalizer. And so this was going to be Leo and Alyssa versus Kira and Kyland. And we saw 2 very different strategies in the very beginning. And Leo, once again, with the better strategy, which is how he won the first elimination he was in. This one, he had Alyssa getting up on his shoulders. Well, let me just explain what the elimination was first, I guess. So there was this big wall, right? They had a big wall with 6 panels. Each panel had a trivia question underneath it. And then to the side, they had this rack of medicine balls that were all chained up, and they had different numbers on them. And those numbers were the answers to the trivia questions that were underneath the panels. So basically, one partner was going to have to boost the other partner up onto their shoulders, or however they wanted to get them up there, figure out what the answer to the question was, and then get that medicine ball with the correct number on top of the trivia question. Mm-hmm. And right off the bat, Kyland and Kira started, Kyland just kind of picked Kira up in his arms, and she was having trouble getting the ball up there.
Yeah, they were going
Leo, yeah. And Leo and Alyssa, though, great strategy right off the bat, with Alyssa getting onto his shoulders instead. I feel like that gives you way more height. You're standing on someone's shoulders rather than trying to hold you like down here.
And also she said, in her little like DR thingy, like she has gymnastics and cheerleading experience. So she is probably very used to standing on people's shoulders, keeping her balance, like having to hold other people up while she's standing on somebody else. Yeah. So I think this was a tailor-made competition for her.
Oh yeah, definitely. And they started off very strong. I know Kylan and Kira definitely switched up their strategy, which started working for a bit. Kira was like then standing on Kylan's back, and he was kind of bent over, and that started working. They started catching up.
Yeah,
They started doing very well. And they would have won this competition if they had known all the answers to their trivia questions. Kylan and Kira would have won this.
I saw a couple people on Twitter complaining, saying, I hate when the challenge throws in like needing to know random knowledge. Like that's not important. Like it's about gaming, it's about competitions. Like I hate when they throw in random questions that nobody knows the answer to. Nobody watching the show knows how many husbands Madonna's had or whatever. But that's what I love about it. Because just because you are the physically strongest person and you're able to do it doesn't mean that you're automatically going to win. It's kind of a crapshoot competition at that point because you either know the answers or you don't. And we saw it. Like they didn't even know which answers they had wrong.
Right. Yeah. And then you saw Kylan and Kira at one point, they were taking an answer away that was correct and switching that out. You know, it's like, I love that element of it. And I think it makes it more, I mean, obviously we have finals that, you know, are just, you know, physical sometimes or just, you know, trivia or mental, you know, based, but like this makes it feel like real challenge to me. Cause it's like, what do you get when you get into the final of the challenge, right? You get all of it. You get every element of it. And I like when competitions have different elements brought into it, and you can't just be, all right, it's not enough to just be the person that's strong enough to get the medicine ball up there. You have to actually answer a question correctly first.
Right. It's less predictable. It's more exciting. I was on the edge of my seat this entire elimination because I had no idea who was going to go home. Every time that somebody was like really pulling out on top, then all of a sudden they would get tripped up on the trivia. Then the other person would catch up, but it was constantly neck and neck the entire time.
Yeah. No, it was really, I thought it was very entertaining. And I think it would have been boring if we didn't have like a trivia aspect to it. Personally. But so at the end of this, Kira and Kylan, oh my God, were eliminated. Mm-hmm. But I mean, either way tonight, we were going to have a BB23 person leaving. So
dropping like flies. They are sprinting out of this game.
Man.
And like what's even crazier is because again, like I was saying earlier, you see people from the same show not wanting to pick off their own. Half of Big Brother, half of BB23 eliminated each other. I feel like they kept like throwing each other under the bus and going at each other. They completely decimated their own side of the house. Right.
There's kind of a part of me that like wants to see Alyssa just get picked off. And none of her allies are there anymore. It's like that. Right. It's kind of your fault.
I really wanted to see her go tonight. I really did. I'm sorry. She was really pissing me off today.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I was rooting for her to go home. I also felt like, you know, I liked Kylan on BB23, and then I didn't like him as much towards the end, and like but I was enjoying him on this season.
Yeah.
I was happy for him that he was doing well. And I wasn't expecting him to leave tonight. I honestly thought that it was going to, and not that I wanted this to happen because Angela is my winner pick for the women, but I honestly thought that Angela was going to be the one going in tonight.
I'm so shocked that she wasn't. Like, even though she did pitch that deal, like it was like a smart strategy, but it's so much smarter to put her into elimination this week.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. But hey, Alyssa and Leo got a bunch of money. They each earned $6,500 from this. So, God, these totals, and they're just gonna keep going up for the people that are there. Like somebody's gonna at some point win like $15,000 from this thing. But yeah. So we are getting a change up next week. Mm-hmm. You see at the end of this episode, TJ is apparently tired of the perfect algorithm.
The algorithm that's completely real and has absolutely paired people up at random the entire season, and we never knew what was going to happen the whole time.
Yeah, it's totally legit. And we don't really know how it's going to change. Are they going to just be able to pick their own partners next time, or is TJ going to say you're working individually right now, or you know, like I don't know.
And I was like, we didn't even get like an inkling of what it might be. It was just like, well, algorithm's done. Bye.
Right. So I'm very interested to see that. The next on portion of this didn't really give us, at least from what I could see, it didn't really give us like what's going to happen next week. It almost felt like a trailer for like, and maybe it's because we kind of said this is kind of the halfway point of the season, right? Mm-hmm. Half the cast is gone now. It seemed like they gave us more of like this is what you're going to see the rest of the season. Like they definitely showed us a lot of, and it looks pretty intense. I mean, it seems like a lot of these rivalries are going to continue to heat up. I'm excited for this. I'm just sad that so many of our BB23 and, our friends from there have left.
Oh, it's wild. It's wild how quickly they got picked off.
Yes. You know what else is funny that I forgot to mention, but in the elimination, did you notice that one of Leo and Alyssa's trivia questions was how many lives do many lives does a cat have?
What is happening? That happened and I screamed at my TV. I was like, what is the cats? What is the cats? What's happening? Why are we always talking about cats?
And even like
everybody on the sidelines too was like, are you fucking kidding me? They asked him the cat and they're all laughing. Haha, they asked him about cats. I'm like, what am I missing? What's going on?
I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, but I don't know. Oh, so let's go over real quick everybody's bank accounts now at the end of this. So we've got the top earners at this point. Tyson is still the king with 16,000. Alyssa has jumped to second place. She has $12,500, more than Angela, coming in at 11,000. We've got Leo at 9,000, Justine at 8,000. Let's see. Kat Shay's got 7,500. Kayla and David have 7,000. Dominic is 7,500. Desi with 6,000. So a lot of people now are starting to be able to run the final. I feel like this is the first week that like we're adding up the totals, and it's like, wow, most of these people actually have enough now. There's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3. By my count, only 4 people left in there that do not have enough money currently to run in TJ's final.
And who are they again?
That is Sarah, who wanted, and that's why she wanted to go in this week.
Right.
She's now one of the few that doesn't have enough to run the final. Sarah, Enzo, Danny, and Ben. They all have $2,500 or less. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be, you're going to see a lot of this stuff now, too, I think, where people are like, just put me into elimination. I'm not winning any daily challenges. I don't have enough money to run the final. Just do it. We'll see what happens, though. I think that's all I've got, honestly. It was a pretty straightforward episode. I felt like, you have any final thoughts?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think that's all I had.
We did this fast tonight.
That was a quick one. That's what happens when Kyle's not here. We're like, bing, bang, boom.
No, you know what it is? I feel like this episode in general, it didn't feel like we even got as much chatter between the players, like in between.
I feel like that first challenge took so much longer than usual.
Yeah, the bumper cars, it felt like it took like a long time. But yeah, and then I felt like a good portion of the episode also was focused on Leo and his like financial issues going on at home or whatever it was, and will Leo leave or will he not leave? So it felt like outside of the competitions and that, like, we got a little bit of game talk, but it didn't feel like as much as usual to me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So, but all right. Nothing else? We're saying good
challenge. I guess so.
Well, why do you want to talk about something else?
Oh, no, I don't know. I mean, like, we could, in theory, talk about Big Brother, but we could save that for tomorrow. I don't know.
We could. And I'm itching to, but just doesn't feel right. Just doesn't feel right without Kyle here.
That's fair.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I'll say about it is that tomorrow night we're getting the start of this twist, I guess, right? So that's exciting, I suppose.
Also, the one thing that I will say, I'm so annoyed that we ended on another stupid cliffhanger. Just tell me who the nominees are. We have a 2-hour episode tomorrow. I don't need the first half hour to be, I wonder who's going on the block that we should already know about. I
saw Rob, right? Rob is a podcast. They were like, it looks like we're not getting the nomination. So you responded, right?
Yeah. I was like, we asked for so little. Please don't do this to us. Please. You willed it into existence.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. But all right, so I guess we'll head out. Well,
All right.
that was the Challenge USA. What else we have going on tomorrow night? Tomorrow night we will be back at 11:15 p.m.
Mhm.
Right?
Yep.
We're going to be talking about the latest eviction from BB24, and apparently it's a 2-hour event. We're going to have both sides of the house split up and play their own separate simultaneous game with no interaction. Still have no idea how that's going to work.
Mhm.
So that's what we'll be talking about tomorrow night, starting at 11:15 Eastern time, 11:15 p.m. Eastern time. And then after that, we'll be back the following Monday, next Monday. We'll be talking again about BB24. We're a new week. And then Wednesday, we'll be back again to talk more Challenge USA. That'll be episode 8 of the Challenge USA. We've reached the halfway point, and it's been a great season. I was mentioning before to somebody, I was like, I thought that I was going to miss like all of the old Challenge vets that we normally have on an MTV season, and I do miss them. I miss seeing CT, and I miss seeing some of those people, but like especially some of the newer ones that have started that we know from other shows that have been like kind of regulars for the last few years on the Challenge. But while I miss them, I thought I was going to have a really hard time getting past it and like not enjoy this season that much. But I've really enjoyed this season of the Challenge USA. I think it's been really, really good and really fun.
Well, and I mean, especially for someone like me who, you and Kyle say all the time, like I just came in very recently to the challenge and I don't know any of like the background of everybody's like who's mad at who has history with who, like all of the little like inner workings of like alliances and whatever. I don't know about any of that because it's been going on for so long. This is like a totally clean slate where we're seeing some people have like a little bit of drama from their other shows that they've been in, but this is the first challenge that any of them have played. So it's just like totally even playing field, totally clean slate. Don't have to worry about like who did what in an elimination 4 seasons ago. Like none of that matters,
Yeah, that's so true. And I really, if we ever get some downtime, because I feel like we're always watching like 4 shows at once.
Yep.
4 shows at once. But if we ever get some downtime, you really should go back and watch some old seasons of the Challenge because they're just so much fun. There's just so much history there. I don't even know
who half of the people that you guys talk about are. Like you and Kyle will just go off on a tangent talking about people I've never heard of, and I'm like, yeah, sure.
You got to go back. You got to watch some. They're so fun. It's so much fun. Some really good seasons. But all righty. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Everybody for watching, for listening. We're BB Jury Duty. If you want to find us on the socials, you can find us at BB Jury Duty on Twitter, on Instagram. You can head over to our website, www.bbjuryduty.com. And I think that's it. All right. We love you, Kyle. We miss you. We wish you were here. And have a great night, everybody.